And so it has come to pass. When the continent was still recovering from the war of its parents, Alima and Alizar, it was I, Sir Frederick of the clan Durst, who committed possibly this planet's greatest atrocity. It was I, along with Sean, O'Brien, Liam, Thomas, were the Knights of the Burning Blades, and we fought our very creator tooth and nail until we reached the essence of life itself and sabotaged it in the name of our false god. We made our own shelter to protect us from the world's wrath, but in truth, it became a prison we manufactured ourselves. Long I could go on about the millennium of isolation and guilt over our sins, however. It was the day that the Crusaders managed to infiltrate the hidden town of Cloverton that I was able to see hope once again. I was too cowardly to find the scattered pieces of Alima's core, and I accepted that my fragile body was no longer capable of completing the quest. With your aid, I faded to my fate. Little did I know that would send my soul to Darkhaven to be ruled by Dracula of all things. But now, once again, destiny spins its wheel, and by the King and Queen of the Night's graces, I was reborn in a form fitting to my sins. My skin has turned to wood, my body grows in greater proportions, my hair is moss and leaves, but most importantly, my soul was weighed down by the crown of nature's destroyer. Now I am bound to the rules of nature and to become one of its many guardians. It is the only way for this monster of life to atone after a life spent in shame. On the 13th of Wind's favor, this wood could finally breathe again. As the friends I have met gathered the sacred shards of Alima's core, they appeared before the most mystical location on the material plane, a place considered to allow each primordial in their homes a chance to interact with the world they made. With the powers of life, light, and lightning, all contributed to recombining the core of Alima. Held in hand by his daughter, they rushed to the Traveler's Pass, but was stopped by the tribe of bugbears who held their ancient task close to their hearts, to defend Alima in his weakest moments. Finally realizing the Crusaders were there to help, they swiftly led the party to the cavern of Alima's mind, coated in inert crystals and a thick tree stump at the center of it. Placing the core onto the stump, truly a magical event occurred, even whispered throughout the dead trees. Nyx led the ritual, but messing with primordial power, no matter how much of an affinity one has, a body simply cannot handle its essence fully. Deprived of his very element, Alima had to pull all the life he could in his violent awakening, vaporizing most of the bugbears and, unfortunately, Nyx. Once the primordial was able to return to consciousness, nature took its course, wrapping the core in roots, and two portals opened at the other end of the cave, allowing view to the world outside. The dust cleared, and the titanic body started to rise from the very earth he created, yet there was no female tiefling. Understanding the tragedy caused by his reanimation, Alima planted a mighty hope tree that from its insides formed Nyx into the fusion of night and nature, as well as some traces of water, to become something more than what she was, the mother of nature, Alima, and the Night Mother's guardian. With her return to the material plane, Alima was able to commune with the party, understanding the need for the Spirit Guard and the Heart of Darkstar to help protect the world from further devastation or abuse of power. The roar of the earth agreed to assist in this plan, and realizing the world is deeply troubled, he firmly planted his fists into the ground and let loose the most primal roar this cycle has ever experienced, opening portals from the elemental plane of nature, bringing forth so many fantastical breeds of animals and fey beings to populate the world, as well as the traditional races seen around the kingdom. The rock and grass grew from the previous foundations, and a massive amount of hope trees spawned all across the continent, but the barrier Mortimer placed over it has hid all that occurred from the Dark Lord Asmodeus. Nature has risen again, life returns to the land, and all seems to be working out in favor of the heroes. When the time calls for it, the continent will be grown by Alima to account for the new world we live upon. I can only hope we are not too late to save creation.